The AF on this topic prevented the NSA from collecting domestic data. It didn't like totally abolish the NSA. So when their case says that actors are subbing in, they're only talking about the data collection process. That's where the actors subbing in comes from.
Yeah. So I think also generally for those who don't know, I don't think circumvention is just specific to this topic. It's I think kind of a broader idea that like even if you do one thing in a resolution and everyone assumes like in this case you stop domestic surveillance with the NSA and everyone assumes surveillance will be on, that isn't always the case. Like there will be a lot of times where other actors will fill in or other actors can do it, or just stopping domestic surveillance won't actually do anything. We've seen this like Naman mentioned, I think a couple of years ago, there was a topic about the Belt and Road Initiative, and a lot of teams, made assumptions about the Belt and Road Initiative. And what Sukum did, which is Naman's coach, basically said the BRI doesn't actually do anything, and it's like question. And I guess that's the ideas behind a circumvention argument, which can kind of it's been done on multiple different topics, and it's like an ongoing strategy.
I remember one specific circumvention strat from this year is under Medicare for All. Some people ran circumvention arguments. They argued that the private sector would basically achieve all the benefits of Medicare for All within like, I don't know, they had some card that said that it would do it within 30 years or something like that. That could be another example of a circumvention type argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also a bigger thing in policy. Like they pull like random executive orders, just like stuff that means it's not going to happen. But I think in PF, it's like a lot more, I guess, concrete circumvention arguments that do come up.
Too bad.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So my next question would be, so I think there's, as the topic progressed, people found ways to deal with circumvention. I mean, there's a lot of teams doing really well with it. So people were trying to find ways to deal with it. What do you think was the best response to circumvention? Was it like durable fiat or perception, or what do you think it was?
I don't think it was durable fiat, like, because durable fiat is like it's like, yeah, you get durable fiat. The NSA does not do surveillance anymore. Like it's like, I don't think durable fiat was a great response. People also tried going. I think the two best responses are probably one that was a bit smarter was like reading 7 responses for why you could presume, like, I guess if you're first, like presume first instead of presume side, and then if you're second speaking, then I think there were some things about like presume af, but like the warrants weren't that great. But I think presume first instead of presume neg was definitely a good like a pretty like solid debate we had a couple times. And then second, it was also like their links won't solve for our specific contentions. For example, if you're going second, then you get the opportunity in your front line, right? So it's like if you're collapsing in second rebuttal, I forgot what the arguments were on NSA, but give me an AF argument on NSA, like
data sharing, data localization.
Data localization. Okay, yeah, data localization. It's like you could say that they're like this link doesn't apply because people are specifically scared about the NSA according to whatever evidence this is. So it's like I think that would be a really good response because like our strat in the back half was to implicate our defense against their offense and kind of phrase it as terminal defense. However, if they kind of say it's not terminal from the get-go, it's like it becomes a lot harder for us, and we have to kind of generate offense from that, which is like, I don't know, it makes it really difficult.
And I mean, if you look at your case, like it's not actually terminal defense. Like a lot of it's like, here's the FBI, they can do things without a warrant. Like presuming doing things without a warrant is still worse, or your GNCQ or whatever.
That was actually offense.
That one's offensive too because they get way more data, right?
Our case like a lot of flexibility. Like it was the GCHQ. We could kind of phrase that. If people read like information overload or something, I think we had. I'm not able to put it together in my head, but it's like a lot of arguments mesh really well like against the traditional like strategies. It's like like you read information overload on one side, but like with this case, you could read it on the other side too, and like it would still generate offense. But I think it also, I guess like the rounds you guys chose like about like the marriage round. I think the GCHQ stuff became like really like interesting because like more data is a more efficient data. Like how does predictive policing work? So I think it was like a really interesting round. But yeah.
Hence why we
a lot of flexibility though.
So our next question is, what do you think the strategic value of reading a circumvention is, or circumvention cases?
I think the most strategic value is like honestly in its truth value, because like pretty much like we'd win 99% of the time that like this would happen. Like terminal defense, there's something happen, right? If they read like a disad, if they read like external offense or something, it's like this kind of like phased out all offense. The debate that we had most of the time was, is this defense terminal or is it just defense? That was a pretty difficult debate we had to have sometimes. But the strategic value was definitely that we knew the case like a lot better than our opponents did. So we could like no matter what they did, it was just like we had like pretty much ways out of it no matter what, So I think that was a strategic value for that.
Yeah, I think something definitely interesting about this case. So I think it's sort of a broader idea that if you have like one specific argument on a topic and you just get really good at frontlining it, I know like people say you shouldn't only practice frontlining one thing or going for one thing 100% of the time, but when it's something like circumvention, where it's like a general idea, there's somewhat of a diverse collapse strat, but most importantly for like circumvention, it interacts like super well with whatever they're saying. You can implicate your case's defense in the back half, sort of a prerequisite. And like generally, it's very easy to weigh. So with an argument like circumvention, which is why it was so popular on the topic, if you are good at it, then it's pretty easy to implicate. So as long as you're winning it and as long as you're good at implicating it, then it's not too hard to pick a balance.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
with arguments like your FBI argument and your UK argument, those things, A, they act as terminal defense on their case. B, they still act as offense for you since you're winning that they have more surveillance, which is a bad thing if you agree with the
Yeah.
negative. So that basically means if you win either one of those contentions, you have won offense and terminal defense on their case, which means the round is over. So if you can just
Yeah.
get good at frontlining your case, you win every round.
Yeah. I don't think we lost a single round where we won the GCHQ link. Like that, if we won that link, it wraps. Like it's like game over.
That's really crazy. It's a
Yeah.
exceptional case strat.